Kindergarten kids vaping. It's hard to believe, but these are the stories coming out of schools as more and more children become addicted to nicotine. Tonight, we take you inside the operation stopping illegal imports at the border as the race to ban vapes ramps up.
The situation is appalling and it has to be stopped.
As a society and as a community, we're meant to be protecting our young people.
It's nothing short of a crisis.
It is now endemic in all of our schools, in all of our communities.
Vaping, a health threat gripping our kids.
We've been really alarmed about the increased uptake of vaping amongst young people since 2019. We first flagged it.
While the federal government is in the process of outlawing vapes, it's feared the horse may have already bolted.
We're hearing of stories of, kindergarten even.
Kindergarten?
Yeah.
We don't have a minute to spare. We have to attack this at every single level.
Recently, New South Wales education and health officials came together to brainstorm a battle plan to vaporise vaping. Health Minister Ryan Park.
This is by far and away one of the biggest public health issues our young people face and our community faces.
Listening and sharing our young.
They are targeted to kids.
13-year-old Angelina Sidhu is in Year 8.
The colours, the flavours, the design, everything.
It's seen by some kids as the cool thing to do.
When you go into the bathrooms, you see a lot of students vaping.
Year 9 student, 14-year-old Porter Christ.
There's a lot of peer pressure involved in, vaping.
It was neglected. We saw the early warning signs. We did try and alert the government.
Craig Peterson is the president of the Secondary Principals Council.
This is not a school problem. It's not just a health problem. It's a broader societal issue.
Our concern is that it's permeating in from the high schools into primary schools at a rate that is pretty horrendous.
Primary school principal Helen Craigie.
We know it's illegal, but that hasn't stopped it.
Most vapes are not only laced with nicotine, they also contain toxins such as formaldehyde, arsenic and lead.
It has to stop, and it will be stopped.
Queensland's Chief Health Officer, Dr John Gerard, fears it'll be years before we know the full impact of vaping.
It will take years for the medical evidence to be accumulated, and we cannot afford to wait.
The new federal laws, due to come into place early next year, will make vapes a prohibited import.
That will give us a lot stronger arm in terms of being able to respond to organised crime becoming involved in the illicit vape market.
Already, Australian Border Force is targeting vape imports. As the law stands now, if they're nicotine-free, they can be imported. But while most are labelled nicotine-free, Therapeutic Goods Administration testing too often tells a very different story.
ABF and TGA strongly suspect that they're nicotine vaping products.
Recently, a current affair joined an Australian Border Force operation seizing suspected imports.
Looking at it, it doesn't stand out to me as a vaping product. It could be a highlighter in a pencil case, it could be a big cigarette lighter, it could be, it could be a USB charging device or one of those memory sticks or something, yeah.
What you see here is literally the tip of the iceberg, and most of it's come from China. There are about 1 million separate vapes in this facility alone, but it's only a fraction of what's being shipped into Australia.
So we've got about 25 tonnes of cargo here, and this is just one cargo depot in Sydney. There's 140 cargo depots in Sydney.
Border Force Deputy Commissioner Tim Fitzgerald hopes the new legislation will help arrest the problem.
In the first 3 days of that particular operation, we intercepted over 35 tonne of illicit vapes. That equates to around 350,000, 400,000 individual vapes.
But international crime syndicates have already seized on Australia's vaping appetite.
The margins are that great that if an organised crime syndicate gets through one container and we seize 9, they're still making a profit on that particular container, that one container that got through.
Deputy Commissioner Fitzgerald also believes the vaping problem is a societal issue.
I think it's been driven by demand, so the demand is there in the community for the use of illicit vapes.
I cannot believe that our children are becoming addicted to nicotine in the 21st century.
Dr. John Gerard fears the fallout in years to come.
This is really a terrible problem and we need to stop it, and we are going to stop it.
Yeah, well, let's hope that he is right.